All right, and here we go. We are live, and it is awesome. I always get excited when I see the opening for all the people who have been lucky enough to connect with and share with and learn from and grow. And I can't wait to welcome in we got two special guests tonight who have actually not had a chance yet to take a picture with and add to that intro montage. But trust me, 2022, it's going to happen. I'm putting it out there right now. We're only on day 3, but we have about plenty of year left to make it happen. And talking about making it happen, thank you to our sponsors. I do it at the beginning of every time because being stronger together is that we're all working to ensure and support educators. Bulb and Swivel have been paramount to our success here at X Factor, supporting us and supporting our authors. So thank you. Before we bring anyone in, I want to thank you for your help and your support. But talking about bringing people in, it is a fact that the individuals that I'm bringing in today are the first official signees for the X Factor Publishing Group. And I'm going to bring them in right now. I am super excited because when I thought about, or when Brian Aspinall contacted me about doing this crazy idea, these were the first two who reached out for, and I'm thrilled to have them on with me and to share the screen. We have Sandra and Melissa. I'm psyched for you to be here. We got people already jumping in, commenting. Mel, our favorite fan here. Here we go for sure.
Yes,
and
Mel.
yes, they were the first official signees, the first official invites, everything. So that is super exciting. And now you're here as our first official guests in 2022. So
nice.
For those people who don't know you, tell us a little bit who you are, where you're leaders, and just fill us in. Viewers want to know.
Okay, Matt, we're going to take it away.
All right,
Sandra
go.
Here, coming to you from Mississauga, Ontario, and been elementary school principal, and very blessed and fortunate to have Miss Melissa Daddabbo in my admin collab, and been an elementary principal. This is my third school, leading my third school. I'm a teacher of the principal qualification course, a longstanding mentor. I'm my association president right now. I'm a member of our provincial executive with CPCO. I'm an elementary counselor, and just I'm a Codebreaker ambassador, an X Factor author, a lover of learning and all things education, super passionate. So thankful to be here tonight, and very excited about my partnership and collab with my partner, Melissa.
And I am Melissa Daddabbo, holding on to Sandra's coattails.
No.
I am a K-8 principal as well in Brampton, Ontario. I am a mom. I'm a dog mom. And I'm like an author, even though that's weird to say. I'm currently working on a project with Sandra, Codebreaker ambassador as well, connected with Sandra through her PQP principal's qualification course, so she had me as a presenter there, and just lover of life right now. So happy to be here.
Nice. That is awesome. And it truly is, and this is not a book promo drop or anything like that, but the power of connections bring 3 leaders together from 2 different countries when a year ago we didn't even know each other's name. And it's just amazing how that happened. And it really started through my partnership with Codebreaker and launching at the time the Leadership Lounge, which is morphed into the Innovators Lounge. So what made you 2 sign up and join into that group of educators?
So for me, it was, I just saw some tweets coming through Codebreaker, and I'm always looking to connect with other like-minded people to just be inspired. And when I attended my first Leadership Lounge, I was like, oh my goodness, these are my people. And I left feeling like on next level inspired, and just happy to connect with him. So that's how I originally got in, just through Twitter, through a connection, through just an interest. And And I think that's how Sandra did too. I'm not sure, Sandra.
Yes, 100%. And then I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I need this in my life.
Uh-huh.
And I also would say that it came at a time where we were seeking connection and also seeking that like input. I needed somebody to kind of elevate my game, kind of felt a bit like stagnating and so on. So it just was like the perfect connection. And then once I got into the space, I kept thinking to myself, like, really, should I be here? Like, I
Oh
had a little
no.
bit of that, like, why am I here? I don't really know if I have anything to
I
say.
know, so many Twitter famous people.
Oh,
We were like Twitter struck a little bit. And also a little bit like, oh geez, like I don't have a book, and oh, I don't have a PhD, and oh no, I don't have all these things. But it was amazing how those connections you just found. I mean, when people are passionate educators, you find each other, and that's what happened. Like we found each other on that space, and there's nothing in that space that has not been just a catapult to whatever comes next. I just have felt so inspired from that moment moving forward, and so grateful to be able to connect like this tonight.
no, and it's great. And we even have some of our viewers connecting. We have
Yeah.
Mel A connecting in, and Christine Bemis,
Yes.
who is always finding a way to chime in, and it's awesome. And she was a contributor. She's saying hi to herself, as I call her, the official welcome person to all Twitter chats. And I was thrilled and honored to have her a part, an extended part to Stronger Together. She's actually, so more fun facts, since the fun fact that you two were our first signees. She is the only educator in all 3 of my published books. So little fun fact for Christine. Yeah, first book was a story with a pseudonym, because similar to you, early on was like, I don't know what I can contribute, like you're doing it. And then quote and power connections, and then a contributing piece in this book. And so that's really exciting. And all the people chiming in is awesome. And one of the things you said, Sandra, was you came into the Innovators Lounge and said, oh, I didn't have this or I didn't have that. Well, now you do. So let's talk about that. The two of you are co-authoring a book around leadership for X Factor Publishing, and it'll be out in 2022. And I say that because I know you're working on it. I'm going to keep pushing you, because we are on a roll and you're a big part of that. So tell me a little bit about that. I kind of know about it, but tell the viewers and listeners that what's coming.
Okay, well, what's coming is, I think, our authentic leadership style in a book format with some hopefully really awesome kernels for you to help pop in your schools, and some fabulous real lived experiences that we've tried, tested, and true. Like we're trying to be as genuine and authentic to who we are and what we do and what we believe. And again, all of this is field tested in our hallways and in our schools all the time. So that's our research. And we're hoping as well to be able to really inspire people to continue to collaborate and make these fantastic connections, such as we have right here, and what Melissa and I have been able to cultivate, even though we have never been able to actually work together. We always manage to find one another and support and elevate each other. And I don't know what else, Melissa, do we have?
I don't know. I'm excited about it, because when you talk about authentic leadership, this really is things that we do in a book format. And it's really trying to be authentically ourselves, unapologetically ourselves.
I like it.
Yeah. And we're just offering, different kernels of our experiences, and different things you can do for professional development, and practices that impact school culture. And of course, all about those collaborations that have led us along our journey and continue to do so. So excited to share that with everybody.
No, and to see you both just get excited about it. And I've heard some of the things, but I'd love for you to share one thing each. As you talk about being unapologetically, you talk about an authentic, tried and true strategies. Share one each, something you've done in your schools that just show who you are as a leader.
Well, I can show you right before Christmas break. Sandra and I popped into each other's school. We do virtual announcements. And so it was Spirit Week before Christmas holiday. And we did a spirit challenge, challenging a group of schools to do the most spirit just to lead up to Christmas break. We know it was like an uncertain time about returning and everything. So we just wanted to put that aside and just focus on the spirit of the holiday. And so Sandra came in and visited my school and put on the challenge, and I did the same. And then the Grinch kind of showed up somewhere. And even to our director's meeting, Sandra was dressed up as Sandra Claus. I can't remember.
Yes, I was.
And I dressed up as the Grinch, and just showing that this is unapologetically us, that we can be crazy and have fun and do all these awesome things with our students because. And they get to see us in a whole different light. And let me tell you, it pays dividends in the end. Just those small little movements that we make, for example, like that, just promotes the school culture like nothing else.
Yeah, and I would also add to that Melissa and I both have this way of being comfortable with being uncomfortable as well, and putting
That's great.
ourselves into these situations where
she kind of forces me sometimes. It's not. I'm not gonna lie,
but it's good. It's so good. And then also just because I think that we're very grounded as well, Matt, in what it is we're doing, why we do what we do all the time. And we know that we just want our hallways to be places of joy, of energy. And we want to be able to walk our halls and find the happiness and find those happy spots and those happy moments. So a lot of our experiences that we add in the book are, those times when, you hear directly from your students that they are super excited to be a part of that school, where they can quote your school motto, when they know what your brand is, and when they say that back to you. And, I had the joy of just listening to students be excited, even though we were uncertain what Christmas holidays were to bring and everything else, and a lot of anxiety was around our schools. We were really just trying to be like, listen, we're here, we're together, let's make the most out of our situations, whatever those are, and let's support each other as we do it. So I think that's a lot of our messaging in the book as well.
No, and I think it's so important and so timely. And obviously, it's a topic very close to my heart. And writing books about connecting. And this most recent book, Stronger Together, is about looking inward and supporting each other. Another Christine Bemis fun fact: she might be the only person to ever read my dissertation, but it was the first thing she asked me for, and read it. And it was about culture. So for me, it's always about that person. It's about the people involved. So why do you think it's important now to write this book about being an authentic leader? Because I've seen leaders, the suits out there, the people who are just about scores and data hounds, and come in and do your job and go home. You don't say hi to people. And the two of you are just full of energy and full of life. And I'd want to be a teacher in your building. So why is it important now to bring that style of leadership?
Because what do you get out of it? Like, what is it that fuels you? Like, why are you in this position or in this job vocation if you're not enjoying it, if you're just doing the managerial side of it and not the real reason you got into education? Like, I always say, like, you ask anybody, I always say, I am a teacher first, always. I always will remember what it's like in the classroom. I will always be supportive of educators in and outside of the classroom. And if we don't have that kind of relationship with each other, and to push each other and support each other, then I'm not in the right position right now. So
also, if I can add on to that, I would say that why now? Well, because I think at every point in education, things become very heavy. And I think, we've gone through some super heavy times.
Yeah.
People need a little lift. They need a little elevation. They need a little inspiration, because most of us, when we got into education, we were super passionate. We're super, excited and enthusiastic. And sometimes along the way, you just continue to add on all of these layers that just sort of try to, sort of weigh you down. So this is an opportunity to kind of go back to maybe your roots and really remember what, had you engaged and motivated at the very beginning. And then those of you who, like Melissa, I am also a lover of teaching. I love being a teacher. I always tell everybody, what's your favorite grade? Well, the grade that I was teaching when I taught it. What's your favorite job? The job that I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I love this job. I absolutely love this job. And I love the role of being a principal, because I always feel like you have such an opportunity to make such a maximum impact on the community that you serve. So take advantage of that and then turn that into, positive experience for yourself. Because let's face it, you can go to work and kind of get through the day, or you can go to a place where you love being, sort of there, and you love being around the people that are there, and you can really sort of create that as the leader. So that's what we're really trying to share with people.
And it's so important, and you can't fake it. Like, anyone who's
No,
watching
you
this
can't.
knows this isn't an act that the two of them are sharing. It's not for Twitter photos. This is who they are. And for me, that's what drew me to the two of you for being our first authors, is that we need this type of leadership. And because being a principal, I love being a principal as well. I was a principal almost 11 years. But it's also isolating a little bit because you're by yourself. But, the last chapter I wrote in Stronger Together was about having fun, and having fun at work is so important. I always remember two things I remember when I was a principal, because I was an elementary school principal, and, I'm 6 feet, anywhere from 230 to 250, depending on what snacks are in the staff room, somewhere in there. So I'm not the smallest petite person, but I would always go in the kindergarten class and sit in the little seats. Like, it's just funny, right? It's just this big person in these little seats, and the kids laughed. And in the first couple of years, teachers like, "Do you want a real?" I'm like, "No, I want to sit in the little seats. It's funny." And then the one I always remember, and again, this was one that really saw, like, okay, having fun is okay. We used to do charities in our school, and like the person who sold the most magazines, whatever, won a bike. And I would always just pepper my administrative assistant, like, "I'm going to do this and do that." And they're like, "Matthew, stop." So I get on the bike and start riding it around the school. And it was funny. Granted, my superintendent walked in, and she was the suit. She was no joke. I mean, I kind of got a little wrist slap. However, in the end of the year, you know how they do those like little messages, or like, "You're the best." The most common thing was me riding the bike around, and I was
100%.
like, "You have to do these things." And I know, Sandra, you do something like that on Fridays, or maybe not ride a bike, but what is that?
Oh, I dance for everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do dance. And during the pandemic, and when we were online, I used to go into the classroom, and I would have the smart board on, and I'd just be like, "Let's get up and let's dance." And I would have the kids tell me what dance they wanted to do, and I'd make a fool of myself and try to do the moves or whatever. But the kids loved it, and they always look forward to Fridays. And I was telling a colleague of mine the other day that one Friday I wasn't in the building, because I also do DJSD in the house for the staff. And my secretary actually even made me a t-shirt, but and I wasn't there this one Friday, and I do phone in requests and stuff, and they were calling, and they were like, "What's going on? Where's the music?" And they were like, "Well, Sandra's not here." And they're like, "What?" I had such a good song lined up today. But again, like, I know it's hard sometimes. Fridays, we're dog tired. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're dragging. But you just put a little music on, you just pump everybody up. The kids love it. It sort of elevates the mood, and it sort of changes the game, because you give it to yourself as much as you give it to others, but you have to find ways to energize yourself that can allow you to get through those, difficult moments. And so yeah, that's one little thing that I do.
It's creating those moments in your school where people walk in and are like, "Whoa, something's happening in this building. It's got a great vibe." And I know you shared the story in Stronger Together about the cupcakes, and who's the staff member that brings the cupcakes every Monday, and then he all of a sudden doesn't show up. And I thought of Sandra when she told me that story about her dancing right away, that if you don't have somebody to dance, everybody's expecting the music.
Right. It's so true, right. You make experiences again, not just saying it because it's in the show title. I just think that's so important that we make experiences for staff. We create
Mhm.
experiences for students to learn, to grow, to have fun, to meet each other. So that being said, the last thing I always ask individuals, and you each have it to turn to answer, when I say, "What does stronger together mean to you?" What does it mean to you when we talk about it in our profession?
You gonna go, Melissa?
We talked about this, Sandra. You go first. And then I go
I
second.
introduced myself
Okay,
first.
okay. Well, what I think stronger together means, and I really want to, do a shout out to the DP collab crew, because without them this year, I'm not sure if I would have been able to laugh, cry, and do all of those things that the supportive group of amazing administrators have been giving me and fueling my fire. So it's really about making people feel like they belong to something larger than themselves. And I think now more than ever, we need to support each other so that we're successful, so the kids can be successful, so our staffs can be successful. And from your book about working in silos, we can't work in silos. We need to work together to support each other, because, or else things just become too overwhelming, and then you start hating the job and you go down that that bad road. And so with Sandra in my life, with Matt and all his connections, with our DP collab crew, that's what stronger together means to me, supporting each other.
Awesome.
So for myself, I think, well, obviously a lot of what Melissa has already said, but I also was thinking as well, Matt, to, the power of connections, and then, the connections without borders, which is what I really felt while participating in the leadership lounge, and sort of going, wow, like, look at these people that we're connecting with. They are all over the world. This is absolutely fantastic. I was just so inspired constantly. I loved learning from the other people, from their experiences, from their stories. I've read so many inspiring books from, fabulous Codebreaker authors, fabulous X Factor authors, coming up. And it's just amazing to think about how, if you do this job on your own, it probably is a job. But I feel like I've never gone to work a day in my life, because I love what I do all the time. And I surround myself with people who share that, that connection, or at least I try really hard to stay in that pocket. And so that stronger together pocket is that understanding as well, that I don't need to be the knower of all things. I don't need to be the resident expert on all things. I don't have to be the guru, but I can tap into the expertise of all the people that are around me, and then that'll make myself stronger and better. But, when we work together, let's face it, we can achieve so much more, right? And in a school, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve that idea of connection, community, and to, have that collaboration amongst staff and students and everything, right? And when all of that's happening, it just feels amazing. So, of course, to me, that's sort of what stronger together means, is just that we can accomplish so much more if we work together. And as Melissa has referenced, we shout out our Duff and Peel collab, because we have lifted each other through some really rough times this year, and we've continuously supported one another. And again, Matt, the community that you've created in a very short amount of time through your X Factor connection, and our link back to Codebreaker has been just an incredible example of stronger together, for sure.
Awesome. Well done. And if you want to check out all of the amazing authors in the X Factor team, check out our website. It's right here on xfactoredu.org. It talks about our authors, the books that they're writing, just a little bit about them, because they are amazing and spectacular for sure. If you want to check out anything with the book, we have strongertogetherbook.com. You can check that out. We're referencing it throughout, but it's not a book sales, because it's what we do. It's how we live. Speaking of the book, we did have a little bit of a contest this week, and these are our 3 winners for the week. So we'll be putting those out Thank you all for following X Factor website and X Factor Twitter, Facebook page, because part of this is growing together, is having individuals who are there and together and represented. And all of it at the core is about each of us taking a step further towards our growth. So if they're watching tonight, you are our winners. If not, I'm going to be sending this out at any minute. And see our last little bit. We have Christine wishing us all well, and we have Mel
You too,
telling us
Christine.
to
Mel.
stay stronger together. And for me, I want to thank you both for coming on. It's exciting. I couldn't wait to have you on. So I know you're going back tomorrow to work. So thank you both for coming on today for sure.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt, for everything.
Awesome. Yes. And for all those watching, remember to stay stronger together. We need to put we over me.